Sorry, no. Like my dad, I haven't watched it.
Was that the first podcast?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Was your dad watching one of the new Star Wars trailers and
Oh,
had
wow.
no idea what was going on? And Mr. Kung finding it very hard to believe he had never seen Star Wars.
I mean, mostly like my whole family hasn't watched it, so
An entire family without Star Wars?
basically.
Wow. That's like Twilight Zone material.
They're bringing that back, eh? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Jordan, is it Peele?
Jordan Peele, yeah, that'll be good. Did you ever see Get Out?
Yep.
Such a good
At
movie.
your recommendation, I did.
Oh. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not
good.
really my kind of movie, but I liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Well, it's very different from any other
Yeah,
movie, I would
and
say.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
It was clever, but also it was, like it had the sort of like basic kind of horror movie elements, but then it was much more clever at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
But it was I think I could see why it'd be appealing to many audiences, right?
It's true. Yeah. I like movies like that where it's unexpected, the things that happen. Like there's some movies where you can totally predict what's going to happen. So that was not one of those.
Ooh, I like the ones with plot twists. Those are really nice.
Yeah? What would be your favorite plot twist movie?
Ooh, I can't think of any on the spot right now, but I've seen a couple that were really, really good.
Have you seen any M. Night, is it Shyamalan?
Yeah.
Movies?
No, I don't think so.
He's a director. You might have. He was really popular probably about, oh man, I don't even know now.
The
Like
90s.
15, 20 years ago. Yeah,
Oh.
more like 20 years ago. But all his movies would have like a big twist.
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's what he was kind of known for. So he had
The Village?
The Village, which wasn't very good. His first one was
I like that
was
one,
the big
actually.
one with Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah, Unbreakable?
No, the one before that. With the,
Really?
with the young boy.
Oh, yeah, Fifth
Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense. Ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Well, you should look that up because it's quite good.
Ooh, what is it about?
It's about a young boy. He's probably like 8 years old, roughly, and he can talk to dead people.
Oh, wow, pretty cool.
And so his mom, and he sees and communicates with dead people, but no one else can. And I think they try to figure out, is it like a mental health thing or like what's going on? And his mom is really worried about him, and she gets him like a counselor kind of thing. I haven't seen this in many years. Who is Bruce Willis? And then it kind of goes from there, and I'm not going to tell you anymore because it would spoil the twist. But it's like, whoa! I remember watching that movie and just being like, oh my god, how did I not see that coming? But it was like, yeah,
It sounds
shock.
pretty good. Oh, wait, have we already started?
Oh, we don't
Okay.
really start.
Just go.
We don't start, and we never end.
I didn't
So
even
you'll be in
realize.
here maybe sometime tomorrow. We'll stop talking.
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So
But anyways,
That's
you may
this-
Unbreakable is another good M. Night Shyamalan. You ever seen that? Bruce Willis is in that one too. The Village, you said, and there's a bunch more. There was the one with the aliens.
yeah, that I heard wasn't very good. I actually fell asleep
Signs?
watching
Is
that.
that
Signs?
Signs?
Yeah, with Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, yeah. That was okay.
Yeah, and then there's Split.
Oh, I've seen that one. That
Yeah?
one was
I
really,
haven't
really
seen
good.
that one.
And then apparently
The
they're
acting.
coming out with
James McAvoy. McAvoy.
Yeah,
McAvoy.
That's what, like, split personality
Right.
disorder. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I've heard of it.
And there's that new one.
the new one.
What's it called? It's like
Glass.
Glass.
Something?
It's
Yeah,
the Unbreakable
Unbreakable
sequel,
2.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbreakable was good, I thought. The Unbreakable is a little different for his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's still a twist.
The Glass also has the guy from Split, the character from Split, in it. So it's kind of the storylines come together
Yeah.
for this next one.
Has it already come out? Or
I have no idea. Yeah.
because I think it's pretty new.
I'm not being rude. I gotta look up the list of movies.
He's on his phone again.
Has this happened before?
What did I say? Put away your phone.
I'll put it in the basket and back in. I just want to see. Okay, M. Night Shyamalan, born in Puducherry, India. Where's the list of his movies? Okay, Glass is coming out this year.
Oh, so it hasn't come out yet.
Not yet. Split was 2016. Yeah, Unbreakable, The Sixth Sense, The Village, The Last Airbender. I didn't know he made that.
What?
The Visit, which I haven't seen. I've heard that one's really kind of weird.
Visit.
Yeah, that's kind of a horror movie. I've heard of it. It's about these kids, I think, that go and visit their grandparents and they've never met them before. And
Oh, I've watched that.
weird things. Oh, have you? Okay, that's M. Night Shyamalan.
Did you like it?
It was kind of, yeah, it was horror, or like kind of scary.
And then I think, well, are we allowed to give away movie endings on the podcast? Probably not. Probably shouldn't.
Nobody listens.
Oh, that's so
the thing.
sad.
Is that the one at the ending? It turns
Don't be
out
too sad.
that it's not really their grandparents. It's like escaped mental patients who have killed their grandparents. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't actually record this. This is just my therapy.
Lady in the Water. I saw that.
Lady in the I saw that.
That was M. Night Shyamalan.
That was okay. That wasn't so great.
Yeah. So, there you go.
There you go.
Sixth Sense, I think you should check out.
Ooh,
I don't know
okay,
how
well.
well it is 20 plus years later.
I'm
but
sure it's still pretty
I
good.
think it's probably pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Well, that's this week in movies.
Exactly.
So you're into horror movies then?
Somewhat recently.
Oh, really?
Before I used to be like, I didn't really like them before, but now recently I've been getting into them.
What's a good horror movie? Because I remember I've seen a few, and they tend to be more gory. Some of them, and I'm not really into that. I'm into like there's jump scares. Like Get Out, I really like because it's kind of like eerie. It makes you feel
It's more
weird.
suspenseful than things jumping out at you.
Yeah. I think the only horror movie that really had me stay up at night was The Exorcist.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I've seen trailers of it. I haven't actually watched.
Oh my gosh, the 70s one?
It's pretty bad.
I saw it on TV once.
Pretty scary.
I saw it on TV once,
It's
and I remember like the movie ended like midnight, and I could
Oh.
not get out of my seat to go to bed
Not gonna happen.
for like another couple hours. I had to watch like several comedy shows or something like that.
Try to get your mind off it.
Yeah, totally.
There, I feel like, and that, like, I don't watch any horror movies really anymore. Like, I watch Get Out. It's not really a horror movie, I don't think. And some friends had told me a while ago that Cabin in the Woods was a good movie, and I think it was on Netflix. So I did watch that one, and I wasn't really. It's kind of got a bit of a twist too. Like, it's sort of it's like a self-aware horror movie, I guess you could say, because they kind of use like the stereotypes of a horror movie to show why horror movies are kind of silly, but then there's a thing. Anyways, it was okay. But I watched a lot when I was like a teenager and like in my early 20s, and then I just find I don't really like them. But those ones from like the 70s, I think are still the scariest. Like The Exorcist, definitely, and then there was like Poltergeist.
Well,
That
for me,
was
anything
pretty
that's
freaky.
close to real life.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that really gets me when it's like based on a true story.
And The Shining, I
when it
think,
begins
is
with that.
Yeah.
like The Shining is one of the best movies ever. I don't really think of that so much as a horror movie because it's mostly like psychological and suspenseful. There's a few kind of scary scenes, but that's a great movie.
So what's a scary movie for you?
most recently is probably I've seen It,
Oh, okay.
the movie.
Oh, I haven't
Okay.
seen that. I would like to watch that actually.
There are a few gory scenes, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Georgie. Yeah, that scene was good. Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything.
No, because I will watch it eventually.
Yeah.
But I've read the book, so I kind of know what happens.
Okay.
But a long time ago, too. I haven't read that book in a long time. I just saw a trailer for the new, they remade Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Oh.
And that's coming out this year. And that they've changed it quite a bit, I think. But the trailer was pretty intense. And that the tagline for that is, they don't come back the same. Yeah.
No, they don't. Anything that comes back is not the same.
I did watch the trailer for that, and I was like, whoa. Because I've seen that a few times, because they play that on TV a lot for some reason, the old Pet Cemetery, like the original one. And it is what it is. Like, for the time, the special effects now look pretty cheesy for the most part. But this new trailer, it was like, whoa, yeah, this is gonna be good.
I feel like I won't like that because I'm allergic to dogs and cats. So.
Even the undead ones?
Well, I don't know. Do they lose their? Are they hypoallergenic?
Allergens when they die? I would
Come
think
back
so.
hypoallergenic?
I would think
That'd be
so,
cool.
but I don't know.
I'd buy one as a pet then.
Well, you should watch the movie then.
Oh, so Maya,
Yes, hello.
well, you're still here. You're in grade 11 now.
Yes, I
which is
am.
surprising.
What? No.
Yeah. Yeah. She's actually, and you just turned 16?
Yes, I did.
Wow, happy birthday.
Thank
Congrats.
Wow. Yeah, so because I taught you in grade 8. And way before that, I remember you coming here
you. Oh, really?
as a little child, hanging out with your dad,
Yep.
with your coloring books and stuff like that.
Yes.
Remember that? How old were you when you...
I've been coming here since grade 3, I think.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, pretty long time.
Yeah. So you've been part of the Delvey family for quite a long time.
I have.
Yeah. So it's really weird that you have 1 year left and you're off on your own. Well, not
It
quite
is.
on your own, but you know.
Strange.
So what are you thinking about now that you're in grade 11?
I want to go into a university or a college eventually. And I guess as for like a career, I want to go into teaching elementary.
Oh,
Because I
wow.
like working with kids and it's like pretty fun, so.
That's a tough job, being
It
a
is.
teacher. But teaching little kids,
Not for Mr. Sahli.
no,
No.
not for the faint-hearted. So why little kids? Like, what age are you thinking about?
I like elementary students because I go to Gibson and then volunteer there a few times a week. So
Good.
I have a bit of experience
That's
with
awesome.
little kids.
Yeah, so you're not one of those who says you want to do something, but you don't know what it's about.
No, not really.
You're actually out volunteering. That's great. And you're still enjoying it?
Yes, I am.
You still want to do it? That's good.
So what are the problems little kids have that high school teachers don't have to deal
Ooh,
with?
attention span. They have a really short attention span. They can't like go on listening to 5-minute rants. You have to keep everything really simple and short.
And what have you been helping with when you volunteer?
I've been helping them with homework and explaining things so that they understand what they're doing in class and helping them with like understanding and comprehension, I guess.
And what made you feel like you wanted to be a teacher?
I don't know. I guess it's mainly because I guess teaching, you get to work with kids, and I also like explaining things to other people so that they can understand. Because I usually have a lot of trouble understanding things. So I guess, yeah.
You kind of learn from that experience?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Or do you have like younger cousins, or like do you have kids in your family that you get to hang out with? And
In like my immediate family, or I'm an only child, so I don't have anyone
no, I know,
younger.
like cousins or anything like that?
All my cousins are older.
Oh,
so
interesting. I was expecting you to say, "Oh, I've got a ton of little cousins, and I hang out with them, and that's
No,
why I
not
wanna work with
really.
Kids, okay, that's interesting.
I guess that's what you would expect for somebody to think they're good with little kids, right? Lots of experience.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you like little kids, obviously. That's good. Because I know lots of people who don't.
Yes.
No. Stay away from those kids. I actually TOC'd for kindergarten a couple of times, and it's the most tiring 2 days in my whole life.
yeah, I did too. I
you?
did too a few times. One of the worst days was French immersion kindergarten, and I don't speak very much French. Well, the kids didn't really either because it was kindergarten, but it was just a nightmare. Like, yeah, it was just terrible. The kids are all There's a few days that I subbed with like those early elementary classes, like K-1, K-2. It's just really hard, and the kids they're so emotional. Like they're always upset, like they're always crying, and like they can't leave each other alone, and like things that I sort of see as, and you try to empathize with them. It's like, okay, he moved my pencil. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, like you try to be sympathetic, or she's looking at me, or he poked me, or something like that. Where I want to say like, can you not just get over this so we can move on? But it means so much to them, right? Like it's such a big deal, and I can't really. I don't know. I have a lot of trouble dealing with that. I just don't really know what to do or to say. So, and that just happens over and over and over.
I know in
right?
high school you would say, well, this is not kindergarten,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
Can you
Grow up, guys.
Grow up. Come on.
I actually say that a lot in class.
And you can't actually say that in kindergarten.
No, because it is. Yeah.
Because it is
What
kindergarten.
is this, kindergarten? Oh, yeah, actually. It is.
I had a kid, like, in a way, you're affecting young lives, and that sets them up for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it's
But
very important.
then you have that kid, like I did, come out of the bathroom without his pants on.
Yeah.
And then you're like, why am I
help
here?
you with this? Yeah.
But I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah, because you're actually, I guess you're really good with that age group.
Thank you. But on the flip side, they're easy to make happy. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's
They're
lots
very
of positives.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magic tricks actually work on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can make my hand disappear.
What?
What? Yeah. Yeah. So you grew up in a family that's you're half Filipino,
Yes.
half Japanese.
Yes.
What is that like?
I feel like I'm more closer to my Japanese side. I don't
you
know
really?
any Tagalog, so
Oh, okay.
but I
'Cause
could speak
You're like
Japanese.
fluent in Japanese.
Yes, I am.
So how did I grew up in a Chinese family, like both my parents speaking Mandarin, and I've basically lost it.
Oh no.
I can understand. I can understand just fine, and I can speak a little bit. I think that's more of a confidence thing. I just don't try. But, I've pretty much lost the ability to write or read anything. Can you read and write and everything?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay, so
I could do the basics, but I can't really read and write.
so conversational,
Yes.
but more than like you're fluent in Japanese.
It was my first language, so
Really? And you've kept it up.
yes, I have.
So how did you do that?
I mostly speak Japanese with my mom, and I have a few Japanese friends outside and inside of school, so I keep up my conversation skills by practicing with them and talking and conversing with them.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's not easy. Yeah.
Did either of you go to language school?
I went until I was in grade 3,
Okay.
but then I quit afterwards, so...
Did you go to Mandarin school? Or just learned at home?
I went to actually Mandarin was my first language.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like it now. But I went to Chinese school for I think 8 years.
Oh, okay. It's pretty
That's pretty
significant.
long.
Yeah, it worked out, didn't it? I mean, I think most of my language I retained from having spoken to relatives and stuff like that. But I don't get a lot of practice speaking now.
Oh.
So, which you do, obviously. So, your mom only speaks Japanese to you?
She can speak English, and sometimes we speak English, but majority of the time it's Japanese.
I think that's how you keep it up. I think that's the secret.
Does your dad speak Japanese?
He can do the basics, but
Yeah.
not very good.
So you and your mom can have secret conversations.
Yes, we always do.
Yeah.
And your dad speaks Tagalog,
Yes, he does.
but he's never spoken to you.
He never taught me.
Oh, okay. And you actually went to Japan.
Oh, I did, yes.
Just one time?
Yes, grade 6.
Grade 6?
Yeah, so quite a bit, but I want to go back soon.
Can you tell us about that trip?
Oh.
Like you went alone.
Yes, I went
Oh,
alone.
wow.
But I went with a company where the flight attendant, they, stuck around with me, so they did all, the informational stuff. And it was pretty easy because I had the flight attendant with me. Mm-hmm. But once I got there, I met up with my grandparents, and then we went to a few relative places, and we ended up staying at my grandparents' and aunt's house. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool.
Where was that? What city?
It was in a city called Fukushima.
Okay.
Fukushima. Okay. And what was it like there?
It was really hot. I went during the summer, and it was almost 40 degrees or something.
Wow.
It was really hot.
Uh-huh. So you stayed there for how long?
I stayed for, it was, I think, for 2 months. So during summer break. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was a really good trip. It was one of my favorite trips, I think.
Did you get to go around the islands, or what did you do when you were there?
I mostly met up with a lot of relatives that I haven't met in a long time. And
are there a lot of relatives there?
Yes,
Still?
it's mostly on my grandma's side. I didn't really meet my grandpa's side, but I went around and met a lot of my grandma's family. And I went to Japanese school for 2 weeks, an actual Japanese school in Japan. That was really cool. I got to experience a Japanese education system and everything.
Okay.
It was really different from Canada.
In what way?
They don't have janitors.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. I heard about this. I thought this
I've
is...
heard that too, that the students just clean up after themselves.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Except your dad would be out of a job. But yeah, they actually participate in the in taking care of the school.
Yeah.
they actually have like a time dedicated to cleaning the school. And all the students like in the school all take the time to clean the school and make sure that everything's all proper and cleaned up.
Wow, that's really neat.
So anytime a kid decides to chuck a sandwich on the floor and leave it there,
Basically, they're going to have to clean it up.
so it's a bit more ownership over your building, which is great, I think. Yeah. So what else did you discover about you said it's so different there in terms of their schooling.
I went in grade 6, and I don't know if it's the same now, but they were using chalkboards. And it was like, I thought that was really different, because now we have whiteboards in Canada, so we don't really see chalkboards anymore. No. So I thought that was really different.
Well, yeah, I think Vancouver's moved on to whiteboards. I think not too long ago they still had chalkboards.
Oh, well, even in Delta, like when I started teaching in Delta 10 years ago, and there were still lots of chalkboards 10 years ago. In the high schools,
there's nothing wrong with chalk. Like I actually enjoyed writing with chalk, except you get your hands all dirty.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of students like scratching on the chalk, which I found really, really, yeah.
So did you participate in the classes there? You were okay to, like, your Japanese at that point was just,
my speaking level was, like, I was able to talk to them and converse with them, but during class, while they had, like, reading or writing assignments, I wasn't able to partake in that.
Yeah. So what is that like? Because I'm thinking about all the kids who come here as international students and ELL students, and how some of them really struggle because, like, I'm trying to teach them, let's say, web design, and so here's the stuff, the tags and things you need to do, but then they have to overcome the English first to figure out what it is I'm trying to get them to do, and then learn, so it's like extra layers that they have to navigate through. So how did you feel when you were going through that? I mean, you understood the Japanese, but like, did it take a while to get what they were trying to do and fit in?
During class, I had a friend beside me who was able to speak a little bit of English. So, like, parts where I wasn't able to understand, they came over and then they helped me through and taught me what I was supposed to do.
Oh, that's nice. And what is it like socially?
Socially?
Like in the classroom, you've kind of explained, but...
A lot of people were kind of, since Japan is really kind of inclusive with only Japanese people, a lot of the people from, like, different grades, they also came up to me and started talking to me, which I thought was really, really nice.
What do you mean? What do you mean by inclusive with all the grades?
Or not inclusive, but like Japan, it's not really multicultural like Canada.
Right.
So it's more just Japanese people without like people from other countries coming. It's really kind of rare for other people to.
Oh, so you were like the special gem of the school.
Kind of.
Oh, let's talk to this girl.
Was it the same age range as like an elementary school in Canada?
Elementary school, I think, goes from grade 1 to grade 6. And then they have kind of like a middle school where it's, I think, grade 7 to 10. And then grade 7 to 9. And then high school is grade 10 to 12.
Okay. So were you went to an elementary school though there? Yeah.
So, in terms of like socially, like what do kids do there that might be different from how they socialize here?
I guess they were playing a lot more outside. I didn't really see people with like video games or like phones or iPods. A lot of people were more outside and outgoing and playing outside, like playing tag or dodgeball. I thought that a lot of people enjoyed that, which was, I guess, kind of different from Canada because everyone has phones and texting and yeah.
So there was like recess and like, is that how they structure the day too? There's breaks in the day where they go.
Yes, there was.
They had playgrounds and all that's kind of the same.
I think they had a playground. Don't really remember that part.
Interesting. And what else did you do while you were in Japan? Did you get to travel around? Like, were your relatives spread out?
They were somewhat spread out, I think. They were kind of in a certain area, but majority was in a certain area, I think.
So, like, culturally, what was kind of shocking when you went there? Because it's so different, right? we really want to go there as a family because my wife's Japanese.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Her mom just went there this year, and we've always wanted to go because it's just culturally so different. And there's so many things that, my son would go nuts, and my daughter would too, with the anime and the, you just think of Japan. When you think of Japan, you think of a utopian society with everything's orderly, and there's all this cultural stuff that's a mixture of like the old traditional stuff and like really different weird things that are going on in terms of pop culture. So what did you find the most shocking or interesting or surprising?
I guess in Canada, like, I'm exposed to a lot of Japanese stuff because of my mom. We have, like, a Japanese, like, TV program, too, so I wasn't really
NHK?
surprised. Yes. And I guess there wasn't many surprises because I'm exposed to those kind of things in Canada, too, so it wasn't very surprising when I went.
How about the, I know when I went to Taiwan, I was, as soon as I stepped out of the airport, I was blown away by the amount of people. Like, there was, like, here we're gifted with a whole bunch of space, and you take that for granted, and you go to a really dense place like Taipei, and it's like, what is going on here? There were, like, mopeds on the sidewalk. Like, on the sidewalk, I would walk out of a store, and a moped would speed by me, and I was like, I really have to be careful. Like, my head was on a swivel, looking around for mopeds just everywhere. There'd be like a family of like 6 on a single moped with no helmets on or anything, with babies in laps, and it was absolutely crazy. So that's kind of what was shocking to me. Like, did you go to Tokyo?
No, I didn't go to Tokyo.
Oh, you didn't go to Tokyo?
No.
So you stayed in like smaller towns?
Yes.
Like farming villages and...
There was a lot of that.
Yeah? Oh, that's cool.
Do you like Japanese cuisine and food?
Oh, I love Japanese food. Yeah. Some of my favorites, like ramen or... Yeah, had a lot of that when I went to Japan, even though it's really hot.
I think Mr. Kung likes ramen too.
Ramen is my favorite thing in the entire world.
I've noticed that.
My wife, she's interesting because she's Japanese, and she eats ramen with a fork. And I'm like, why are you eating ramen with a fork? Ramen must be eaten with chopsticks.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kung, but I use forks.
Do you use a fork?
Oh,
what?
Maybe it's just
What's going on?
Maybe you're the weird one.
It's like that Seinfeld episode where everybody's eating chocolate bars with a knife and fork. So yeah, ramen's like my favorite thing in the world. Like I'll eat ramen all day long.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. Which irritates my wife because every time I'm like, I've got a ramen craving. You just had it yesterday. Yeah. So ramen, what kind of ramen? Let's see how specific you can get.
I like miso ramen.
Oh,
those are my favorite.
Miso. I like the tonkatsu ramen.
Ooh.
I like the eggs, like the soft-boiled eggs.
Oh, those are like different than normal hard-boiled eggs.
Mm-hmm. I've been trying to make it in my Instant Pot lately, but it's not... I haven't figured out the right timing yet. Yeah.
So, for the uninitiated, is ramen is that like just encompass like noodle soup, basically? Like, is that sort of the idea?
I guess. If you sum it up and like simplify it, I guess it is.
But there's other noodle soups, like there's udon.
Oh, that's true.
Right, yeah.
Which is thicker.
Mm-hmm. So
thicker
is
rice
ramen,
noodles.
is that the type of noodle? And then it's typically in a soup? Is that...
I'm not sure.
Like, I've had it before, but I don't really...
Well, it's usually thinner noodles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're egg noodles, I think. What are they? What kind of... Sometimes they're wheat noodles.
I don't know.
Because
Because I think of like instant noodles, sort of like that is typically called ramen.
Yeah.
But I would assume that's not really like real ramen. Like the stuff, like the freeze dried packets, right? Of like Mr. Noodle or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the dry ramen was invented by Momofuku Ando, this Japanese guy who it's like this is this is an amazing innovation, this ramen stuff, because then people could like have it anywhere, right, and carry it with them. Like I have several packs in the back of my car, as you would. And too bad we don't have enough chopsticks in the staff room to bring my own. But yeah, it's like that. It's thinner noodles, and usually and always with soup. Some soup base, chicken or beef or something, right?
Miso.
And then stuff in it.
Yeah, so similar to pho or pho? Similar idea? Because often you get noodles in pho too, right?
Pho has like specific, like a specific soup base. I don't know what it is, but like
it's a different kind of broth.
Yeah, the broth, there's like certain spices.
I've seen it made on
in
TV. Yeah, I couldn't tell you exact what it is, but I've seen cooking shows where they make pho.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you boil down some type of bone and certain stuff.
And the noodles are different too.
Okay.
They're like thinner rice. They're definitely rice noodles because they're pure white. Whereas ramen's like more yellowish. So those are good questions, Mr. Sahli.
I'm gonna have to go out and have some ramen. I think. Yeah.
And what else do you like to eat? Sashimi,
Ooh,
raw fish, raw stuff.
Before, when I was little, I wouldn't eat cooked fish, but I'd eat raw fish, which was kind of strange. Usually, it's the other way around. But
did you try puffer fish when you were in Japan?
No, I didn't. But apparently, it's like a delicacy or something.
It totally is. Well, I think the chefs have to train for 16 years or something before they're allowed to serve it.
According to The Simpsons, that is correct.
Is it 16 years?
Okay. I don't know. But there's that very famous Simpson episode. Have you seen that? Like from way back when Homer orders puffer fish, and then they think they've given him the poison part, and he thinks he's going to die, and it's like a whole episode about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're extremely poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they obviously have to be really well trained.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would try it. I certainly would pick a reputable place.
Yeah.
It's not something you would... Yeah, it's not street food.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, you want some puffer fish? No, no thanks. Uni?
Uni?
Sea urchin?
Ooh, I have tried that. It's not really my favorite, though. It has kind of like a weird aftertaste for me. Yeah. Not my favorite.
Well, it's got to be fresh. That's what I find. Well, anything has to be fresh, but especially that because of the weird aftertaste. My son loves that stuff. Ooh. He could eat piles of it. You know what it is, right?
No.
Sea urchin, I think.
Sea urchin? So, I've actually... My parents one time brought over sea urchins, and you cut them open, and then you wash them out except for the gonads. And it's the gonads. It's like golden color.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's good.
We've got not when you say it like that, it's not, but I'll take your. I've had uni before too, but I didn't know.
I hope I didn't make people chuck in the car or wherever you are. But it's good. That's the point. What's the weirdest thing you've ever had?
Ooh, I haven't had it personally, but I've seen a Filipino delicacy.
Yes.
It's the duck egg, I think.
Balut.
Yes, that one.
And would you try that?
No.
It's like a...
What's strange about it?
What is it? It's
It's like
I'm gonna look this one up.
It's kind of like
fermented or
it's a duck egg, and I think the embryo is mostly developed, so the actual duck is actually in there. Okay. And you can actually see all like the feathers and stuff.
Your dad says he's had it.
Yeah, he has it. He used to have it pretty often.
Pretty often? What do you mean?
I've seen him having it when I was little.
You can get it here?
Like there used to be a Filipino shop somewhere.
Really?
And they used to have like not containers but little egg cartons of balut.
I know what I'm bringing to potluck now.
I was going to say I know what Mr. Kung's doing this weekend. But...
Okay, balut is a developing bird embryo that is boiled and eaten from the shell. It originated from and is commonly sold as street food in the Philippines. Often served with beer. It's popular in Southeast Asian countries, so it's not just the Philippines. Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam. The Tagalog word means wrapped.
Oh, I didn't know.
Interesting. So you can actually see the bird
Yes,
features
you
while
can. It's
you're
very scary.
punching down on it. I wonder if it's crunchy or if it's... I guess
Probably
it's
not.
still very soft, right?
Yeah, probably.
I've seen feathers on them sometimes.
Feathers.
Yes.
That's a bonus. Yeah.
So, Mr. Sahli, will you do it?
No, I don't think I would partake in the balut. No, I don't think I would. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like something I would like.
But according to my dad, apparently it's really good.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I guess that's why people eat it. So you've never tried that. So what's the weirdest thing you've actually tried?
Apparently when I was little, I used to like chicken feet. So
I love chicken feet.
Pretty, yeah,
That was
I think
pretty.
that's pretty common.
That's normal people. It's dim sum.
I was going to say, it's dim sum, right? Delicacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you still like chicken feet?
no, not anymore.
That's where the
You
flavor
actually
is, right?
don't like it, or?
I don't eat meat anymore.
Oh, really?
No, I haven't been eating meat for the past year, I think.
Oh, wow. And what is the reason?
My mother's vegetarian, so...
Your mom's vegetarian.
Yes.
And what is her reason?
Her reason is she watched way too many videos on the internet.
Oh, of
So you
animals?
and your mom are not eating balutes.
No.
Okay.
Or, I mean,
Definitely not balut.
Definitely not balut. Yeah.
I'm pescatarian, so I do eat, like...
Fish.
or eggs, but not like the... like actual meat like pork or chicken. Or...
Okay. So eggs are included in pescatarianism?
Yes.
Yes, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So fish and eggs. Not fish eggs, but
Yeah,
any
yeah.
egg.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did the same. I didn't eat meat for about 10 years, but
Oh, wow.
I ate fish, and it's really because like the eggs fall more under like dairy, right? So like vegan, you'd not eat eggs, right? But
Okay.
even yeah, maybe that's a slippery slope. I don't want to speak out of turn. I think even for vegetarians, a lot of vegetarians would probably eat eggs too.
Really?
I think it might be a bit of a gray area, though. Yeah, I know my vegetarian friends all ate eggs, and I did. So I don't know.
Maybe maybe you just choose what you want to eat.
Maybe you do, yeah. We all have our
Well, you obviously
paradigms,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless you, I guess, if you have purist pescatarian friends or something.
Yeah.
Pescatarians, like some vegetarians, consume eggs and dairy products, while others do not.
Yeah, makes sense.
So for you, was it health, or was it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of it was health, and yeah, I would say so. Health and ethical reasons. Yeah. But then now I kind of eat everything again. Because initially, it was about 10 years, and then my wife and I both stopped eating meat at the same time, and then she started eating meat again when she was pregnant for the first time. And I lasted about another 2 years probably after that, and then it was just kind of, yeah. And initially she only was eating certain types of meat, like mainly she was just eating chicken, and I kind of thought, okay, I'll kind of try that, and I didn't think that I would kind of ever eat beef really anymore or pork, but then that lasted all of like a couple weeks. And
Was it bacon?
I
Does
did,
that do
yeah,
it?
no, yeah. Bacon's never been my favorite actually.
Okay.
But and that's been about, I don't know, probably about 7 years since I was doing that, and it's been a good 7 years. Yeah.
So for you, you said it's because of your mom. Is it because she cooks your food, or like if you go out, are all bets off the table? You just do whatever you want.
It was mostly because she kind of influenced me, and I guess I started looking into those kind of videos too.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, kind of didn't want to eat meat anymore.
Is part of it just like knowing where your food comes from, like
Basically,
how
mostly.
it was prepared? I see. Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
So, is health part of it?
No, not really.
Not really. It's ethical reasons. Interesting. I always like to find out why, because it's just interesting to me because I eat all sorts of stuff. And I guess it's good to think about how things are prepared and what happens in the process of making that stuff. Who knows what's in it unless you actually do some research, right? Good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that whole trip seemed like I remember when your dad was talking to me about you going, and I was really surprised because you were so young.
Oh, Japan?
Kind
Yes.
of on your own. Like, were you ever at any time like afraid or?
I was more so excited than afraid.
You were excited.
Yes.
Really?
I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to go to Japan alone was like an adventure. So I was really looking forward to it.
Cool. Look, my wife did the same thing. I think she was, I forget how old she was, but when she was a child, I think she was like 12. Maybe 11 or 12. And her mom sent her off to Japan, and basically her relatives met her at the airport on the other end.
That's basically what I did too.
Yeah. So that's a cool experience.
It was.
And you said you want to go again. What do you
Yes,
want
I
to see
do.
this time?
I want to see my grandparents and all my relatives and eat a lot of good food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're planning to do as well. We're looking at flights right now.
Oh.
So, yeah, trying to figure it out. Yeah. So,
Maybe this summer or
maybe.
next year? Maybe?
We'll see. We'll see.
I feel like going next year would be really difficult though because of the Olympics that's happening in Tokyo.
Right.
So like airplane tickets must
2020.
be really expensive too.
Yeah. So either go before or after.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or stay for the Olympics. Yeah. And what's the, like you went in the summer, was that ridiculously, like don't go in the summer, you would say?
They have really good air conditioning, so that
Okay.
was the thing that saved me.
So you're just running from AC to AC?
Yes.
I don't think it could have been worse than California we were in 2 years ago.
Right.
You were there.
Yeah.
Like that was like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
That was tolerable. We were in Disneyland.
Oh, that makes
It was
all
still
worth
pretty
it.
hot. I don't know.
We spent a lot of time.
Those were
Remember
some
I
hot
told you some of the
afternoons.
spots?
You did, yeah.
Like
I did
I'm in that little Mickey Mouse theater on Main Street.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to
Star
hang out and
Wars.
take a nap.
The Star Wars exhibit.
Yeah.
That was nicely.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can relax there and
Yeah.
take pictures with characters.
Yeah. It was cool there, but that was hot.
We're talking about Star Wars again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Tends to come up in the.
or Pirates of the Caribbean for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Just to get the AC.
It's cool down there. Yeah, underground.
Yeah.
Mr. Kung and I tend to end up in the same places on vacation. It's happened a few times, right?
Ooh, you go on vacations? Like, that's pretty
Not
cool.
together, but we've ended up. Well, ended up in California at the same time. But
Oh,
there
wow.
was,
Yeah,
there
we
was
actually
another
met
one,
up.
wasn't there? Or we just missed each
What
other.
was it? Portland?
Oregon. Yeah, I think.
Portland?
I think we just missed each other by a day or two in Oregon once.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we just joke about it a lot. So
I
it
think we
seems
joke
like
about
more.
it.
So maybe it was just those 2 times. Yeah.
Well, we're going to Kauai. And Mr. Bennett's going to be there at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is interesting because he booked the trip before, and then when I was looking because we really wanted to go back to Hawaii, we booked it, and then I checked with him, and it was like the exact same dates, very
funny.
close to each other, so it'll be really funny.
You'll have to go out for dinner.
Yeah, we will hang out on the beach, go to a luau,
What else are you gonna do? Yeah.
surfing,
Yeah.
kayaking.
Oh, I like kayaking.
Yeah. Would you say you're an outdoorsy type of person, or do you like to stick to the city life?
City, I am not good in the city.
Yeah?
I'm not very good with directions, so being in like a really crowded place, I feel like would be really difficult for
So
me.
you made your way around Japan because you had people kind of guiding you around?
Basically, yes.
Okay. And so have you been to any other like big cities?
Big cities. Oh, I went to California, San Francisco.
San Fran? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was really cool with my parents, so that was really fun.
And that was recently?
Yeah, during high school.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like a few years ago?
I think so. Yes, during spring break, I think.
Mm-hmm. And were you able to navigate your way around?
I followed my parents,
Oh, of course.
so I didn't really pay attention.
Of course. So do you do any like outdoor stuff?
Not recently. I've been inside a lot lately because of the cold weather and stuff.
Yeah, terrible weather.
Yes.
It's beautiful weather.
Today it is.
It's nice and sunny outside. Yeah, it's freezing though. I washed my car yesterday and...
Oh, too cold for that.
Well, I washed my car and then like almost right after there's like a puddle that I made, of course. And then I was stepping on the puddle and it's like making crunchy sounds. I was like, what? What is this?
It's like freezing
frozen.
as it hits the ground.
I basically...
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, I made this... I made black ice.
Yeah.
Now I have to step around it. Yeah. So you've got one more year and you're doing volunteering. You kind of have your eyes set on doing elementary education and looking forward to that. Where would you like to teach and what grade specifically? Have you narrowed it down that much?
No, not really. But recently I've been really enjoying working with kids between grades 3 and I think 6. So pretty big range, but yeah, those kind of kids are really fun to work with.
Uh-huh. They don't get on your nerves.
No, not as much.
Good for you. I remember when I had to deal with that age, just like you said, it was like little things. I taught PE once.
Little things.
Constant little things. PE. Actually, maybe it was kindergarten again. Yeah, PE was just a disaster with kindergarten. I remember just wanting to go. Because I think we were playing... I forget what we were playing. I think we were just wandering around because I didn't know what to do with them. And then these two kids, like, not even bumped into each other. They kind of... Their clothing just kind of brushed against each other. Their sleeves kind of brushed. And then both of them fell down to the floor and started crying. And I was looking at this going, what? What is this? So I had to calm down and speak in elementary school teacher's voice, which I don't do very well. And like bring them aside and like, don't worry, it'll be fine. So what does your elementary voice sound like? Is it like, do you change your tone? Because I noticed talking to elementary teachers even, like, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently I don't really change my tone. I'm very straightforward with them and, I guess my voice does go a bit, like, higher pitch, but apparently I sound the same.
Do you find that it's different, the way people talk in elementary school?
You have to kind of filter what you say and make sure that everything's all, like...
Did you hear that, Sahli?
I did hear that, yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't mean, like, yeah. Making sure that it's... Yeah. Easier for them to understand.
True. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's... Like, I guess tone is really important, too, right? If they
get scared by, like,
if they detect I don't know, if they detect an eyebrow or a frown, even a little one, they're very sensitive.
They feel it. Yeah.
Are they very sensitive?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've noticed. The people I know who teach elementary is they usually have a very, it's like a very cheerful tone. It's usually a little higher than their normal voice, and kind of sing-songy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also very, like, they form their words very carefully.
Enunciation.
Enunciation is very important.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're trying to teach the kids to speak properly.
I guess so. We're trying to get their message across so they understand. Mm-hmm. Mr. Turpin enunciates his words.
He does.
Not like he's talking to a smaller child, but I've noticed that he's very clear when he speaks. Like it's, yeah.
He's trained that way. Yeah. So is that something you find yourself doing that, like, consciously?
Yes, I guess consciously. It doesn't really come to me, like, without thinking about it, but I try to.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm. So what else are you looking forward to as you head into your graduating year? Because it's coming soon.
It is. I haven't really thought much of it. Try not to think about it.
Well, are you excited or scared? Or
kind of scared. Not really planned or I haven't really planned much after high school or like even grade 12.
Yeah, but I guess you already know what you want to do.
Oh, that's
like,
true.
Are you leaving the door open to other stuff? Like, do you have other interests?
I'm trying to keep the door open for other stuff, but I haven't really found anything yet.
What is on Maya's short list for possible careers then?
I guess maybe something that would be able to use in different countries, because I also want to, like for teaching, I want to teach in Japan too. So that's something that I find really interesting.
I think a ton of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin did that. She was in the JEP program. I think it's called JEP.
Oh.
It was like yeah, that makes sense. Japanese exchange program.
Oh.
JEP. So she went to Nara.
Oh,
You know
that's
Nara?
cool. Mm-hmm.
Where they have deer that come up to you and do stuff.
Really? That's cool. I didn't know.
No? Okay.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think they come up to you and
I've seen pictures.
they're like very tame and they
John
bow
Camp.
and stuff
Oh,
like that.
wow.
Yeah. Do they bow?
I'm not sure about that.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I think
Anyways.
that was a Disney movie you're talking about, but
Oh yeah. No, that was
It might
Bambi.
be.
So
I know a lot of people who've taught in China,
yeah.
but not a lot. I can't think of anybody that's taught in Japan, but I know a lot of teachers who have gone to China and taught.
Well, my cousin never came back.
By choice, or
She got married, had kids.
yeah.
I never saw her again. Yeah, to this day she lives in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Actually, she came back once, like to have a reception for her wedding, and then she.
Oh, I do know
went back.
one guy actually
Yeah?
that I went to UBC with, and then he moved to Japan and he ended up getting married and he's still there. Yeah, and I remember that guy because we found out he was in my cohort in the education program, and I don't remember how it came up, but we figured out that we were born one day apart in the same hospital.
Oh, wow.
What?
Kind of interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big coincidence.
Yeah. His name's Sean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least you don't have the same
I
name.
haven't seen him in like 10 years. No, I haven't seen him in about 10 years or whatever, because I think he went to Japan pretty soon after we finished the program, so it was 11 years ago or whatever.
Right.
But I see him on social media occasionally. But yeah, he still lives there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right. So see, you might never come back.
Maybe.
Yeah. So exchange, that could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I'd like to do.
Right. And because you speak the language too, it can't be that difficult.
That would be a plus, I would think. Yeah.
Maybe learn to read and write as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So, in the future, as a teacher, what are you looking forward to? Like, besides the fact that you're working with kids and influencing them, I just want to hear, like, what else? What other impressions do you have of what teaching life is all about?
I feel like there might be parts where it'd be kind of stressful because kids working with, like, I guess 20 kids would be really, really difficult. But I think that in the end, being able to see them, like, happy and understanding the things that I'm teaching would be really nice, like a really nice feeling.
She's saying all the right things.
That's good. You should be writing the stuff down for your applications.
This is not an interview. By the
Yeah,
way.
I know,
Well,
yeah.
this is a sort of a conversation, but it's not a job interview. So that'll have to wait, Maya. Yeah. So have a good last year. I guess we're finishing off this year, but one more year
Almost
before you
done.
graduate.
It's
Yes.
basically over. I would say. Once you get to spring break, it's basically
Yeah, after spring break, it's like
and that's like
it's like
week
a
from now,
landslide.
so,
yeah, it goes by so
So you're
fast.
basically in grade 12.
You're
Basically.
basically done.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then that year flies by. So yeah, you're done. You're done school.
And you'll be like thinking about the future. Your mind will not look at our grade 12s. They're already thinking about what they're going to do when they're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, thank you for talking to us today,
Thank you for having me.
and enjoy everything that you're doing, and hope you get to Japan pretty soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a nice trip too.
I'm looking forward to it. Just have to save up and find the right flights.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.